Hey guys, today's profile pop-up is a salute on Veterans Day to all who have served their families and loved ones. Thank you, Sir Chris, for your service. Now it is my service today that I get to be able to dive a little bit into how you go from a military career to a civilian one. Let's get to it. Now, your picture is a little bit grainy when I zoom out like this, so you may need to get a better high-resolution photo. Doesn't need to be necessarily a professional one, but just like this, looking forward, we get to see you. I would suggest, though, shoulders up, a nice clear background like that. But otherwise, as is, even it's a good picture. But I would suggest you zoom in, and I bet when you do, it's going to get a little bit clear, a little bit less clear, a little bit fuzzier. So nice background. Obviously, the flag says a lot, right? Nothing there. But let's focus on getting people to your profile because that's when they see that flag. Now, headline. What I love about this is you've got a lot of great, tangible, I would say, tasks or responsibilities or keywords. These are great. That you are a senior manager now. That sounds like a role, but a senior manager of what? That's where I want to go with this whole profile review. Now, active clearance, protection, security, risk assessment, management. Lots of great skill sets. I love that, and that's going to help you with the keywords. But we want to know a little bit more. This is my overall impression here is what role do you fit into that you are definitely looking for and qualified for. Now, qualified for, don't get me started, right? I mean, you being in the military, as long as you have, everything you've seen and done, as you talk about in your article, which I'll get to in a minute, I mean, there's no doubt that you've done it all and seen it all. So the challenge is, and I love what you've been doing here, is obviously you've been working on this. You need to transition from the military to the civilian. And you're doing just that. When you give your military title, Sergeant Major, and then in parentheses, you're giving the civilian title, a senior manager. Now, what I would offer you and suggest to you is try to hone that down. A senior manager of what? Is it security? Is it planning? Is it risk? So you may even just want to add those words in there. A risk, senior manager of risk, senior director of risk planning. Something like that would really help us to see that's where you would fit in. And how would you know that? Start looking at job ads. Look at the various ones. You're not going to look at a job ad called senior manager. You're not going to find one. You're going to find one that's going to say senior manager risk management or something like that. So take a look, find those, look at the way they're worded, and try to retrofit your profile into that job ad, okay? And that's going to really, really help you to shape this and to fine-tune this because you've got already a lot of great things going. Now, the same kind of thing here in your about statement, multifaceted security, I would imagine if you're coming from the military. But professional. When you say professional now, you're missing out a little bit. If you can be more specific and say exactly what role you see yourself in based on your experience, your background, boom, that's going to really jump out. Because look, this part right here might be all we get. You don't get that much. We're getting the first part of a sentence, consistently demonstrates the ability to motivate, train, lead. Well, don't just tell me, show me. Consistently demonstrates. How did you demonstrate it? Demonstrate it to us right now, the most important thing that is going to make me want to tap on see more. And once I do, then let's explode it out here and make sure that it really pops, okay? We want to make sure this a little bit, we can space this main paragraph out a little bit so it's easier to read because as you can see on an app, we don't see a whole lot. We see a little more on a desktop browser, but we're not seeing quite as much on here as we need to, so you might as well space that out and make it a little bit easier to read. I would also like to see more results, more bullets and results in here of the things that you've done so that it's a quick takeaway because you get seconds. Now, obviously you've done a lot of great work again. Core competencies, this is awesome. I mean, you're pointing out some incredible skill sets. I love this. Now, let's get into this real quick, your background, your experience. Love the use of the bullets. 300 people, 175 days, 7 mid-level executive managers, 30 plus. You see how right away these are the things that are jumping out to me, and I want to know more about those. And notice too, you've got like a little 4 short lines here on your older positions max, but here you get 8. It's double. Notice that. So take advantage of everything we see there. Make sure that it is pulling us in, and even take this current position, especially with you leaving. Once you leave, and you may end this position right here that we see. You could add a new position. As I saw down here below, you're in active education right now, getting your BS. But you could add a position that says you're doing full-time education, pursuing a full-time education and a job. That's fine. But have these keywords in here, have these metrics in here that you can find and add, and have it geared towards the future. That's really the highlight, the point here. We want to gear it, the past that you've done, your present and your future, toward things that we can relate to as a typical job, typical responsibilities, and most importantly, keywords that a recruiter searching would find, whether that be risk management, risk assessment, security prevention, whatever the wording may be there. Again, that's where going back to job ads is really going to help you. So biggest thing here, again, you got the bullets, that's great, but you could even use a different type of bullet, one that stands out and makes, and I can certainly give you some ideas on that, makes it, much more of a pop, honestly. You could certainly do that. I love the use of the pictures that you've got here that prove, your certifications, your qualifications. This is awesome. But again, this just trying to get us to want to tap and see more and click on this more. Now here you've got recommendations, you got 4 already, that's great. You might even take snippets from your recommendations and put that in your about or your former summary section. You've gotten rid of the competition, notice it's not at the bottom, that was smart. You've got a somewhat customized URL, I would add a dash in there so that Google will also see that better. And that's about it. Let's leave it at that. This has been a long one, but again, Chris, sir, I salute you. I implore that people take a look at your most recent article because I think it sums you up well. I'm going to give it real quick here. The very first paragraph, I think you get into it. My absolute dream job would combine a position that requires risk and vulnerability assessments along with the implementation of protective intelligence into security planning. And right here, you kind of go into it a little bit later. Let's see if this shows up on here. I want to get into here, right there. A teacher, this is just awesome. I love this article. It was a really great article. So take a look at the article, people. This is wonderful. It gives, especially if you're in the military, I love your background. You're helping so many people already with this article. You must make yourself relevant. I love that. I love this part right here. It really gets into this. And I love it too, what you said. Not much you haven't dealt with. I have absolutely no doubt. So take a look at his article, guys. Take a look at his profile. I love everything that you've done with your profile so far. And you are an example, a role model to us all, Chris. Again, thank you for your service. We salute you.